Welcome to today's class. Let's get started today. Just seated at the center of the mat as we take a few moments to get settled in here. So find any comfortable, easy seat where you can sit with a tall and long spine. Begin to just get settled in here. Notice the natural rise and fall of the breath. Maybe begin scanning through the body, taking note of any areas holding on to tension or stiffness, any areas of pain or discomfort, and see if you can relax that tension as you come across it. Become aware now of the state of your mind, your thoughts and emotions, without becoming engaged in any of the thoughts. Just noticing whatever is there, checking in with your baseline before we begin today, and then once again, returning your attention to the breath. Throughout this practice, one breathing technique that is very beneficial to help us go deeper mentally and physically is our Ujjayi breath, or giant breathing. So let's begin with a few deep breaths like this, inhaling through the nose as you feel that low belly rise, our dantian space. Then as you exhale, we want to slightly constrict the back of the throat as we exhale, as if we're fogging the mirror with our breath after a shower, except we're keeping the mouth closed. So when you're ready, let's go ahead and take an inhale, filling the belly, and exhale. Making each exhale as long and slow as possible. Again, let's inhale. Feel the belly rise. And let it go. Inhale again, inviting presence into this moment. And exhale, sighing it away, letting go of anything that isn't serving you in this moment. Wonderful job. Go ahead and release the breath now, allowing it to come back to its natural rhythm. And then we're going to begin with our first asana of the day, which is our butterfly pose. So starting seated at the center of the mat, let's bring the soles of the feet together. Take an inhale as you lengthen through the spine, straightening the back. As you exhale, begin to fold from the hips, maintaining that straight back as you begin to fold forward. If you don't have any low back pain here, and you can go deeper, then on your next exhale, allow the rest of the upper body to melt forward, forehead reaching towards the mat. Now, if you do have any amount of pain here, then I want you to just go as far as you can forward while keeping that flat back. And maybe if you want to use some props here, you could rest the elbows onto a bolster or stacked pillows. Or maybe even using something like a bolster, standing upright to rest the forehead against, giving you a little extra support. As always, be sure to take any variations or modifications you need in order to make this practice your own, never forcing anything or pushing into pain. but listening to the body, honoring it and giving it whatever it's asking for. That is what makes this practice so beneficial and so healing, is when we let go of the ego, let go of our expectations, and we just allow ourselves to be where we're at, meeting ourselves there with compassion and allowing the body to guide us in how we move throughout our practice. So throughout our practice today, once you find that area of tension that's speaking to you, or the variations in the pose that best serve your body, then settle into stillness there, coming back into that deep mindfulness as you inhale, drawing that breath, imagining it flowing to any areas of tension. And with each exhale, imagine that tension melting out of the body as you consciously and intentionally release any tension you notice, letting everything relax so that your body can surrender deeper into the pose. We have less than 1 minute left in this pose, so I'm going to leave you here to go inward, to practice listening to the body. Wonderful job. When you're ready, gently allow the spine to roll back up one vertebrae at a time. And we're going to prepare for our next asana. So we are now going to do a few variations of our fire log pose. To begin, let's start by bringing the right shin over the left. So we're stacking our legs here. Imagining trying to keep both these legs parallel to the front of the mat. And then let's inhale, lengthening through the spine again, making sure we're sitting tall. Then go ahead and place the left hand on the right knee, and the right fingertips to the side on the mat. On your next exhale, begin to twist to the right as you look over the right shoulder. Inhaling as you draw oxygen into the spinal cord. And exhale, letting go of any resistance, maybe twisting a little deeper, but again, never forcing anything. If that top knee today is really high up off the bottom knee, that's totally fine, don't worry about it. Just work on as we're here, seeing if you can relax, trying to press that top knee down a little closer toward the foot. Once again, as you find the positioning that best serves you in this pose, then begin to settle into the stillness. Just moving, if you can, to go a little deeper into the pose, and breathing through any discomfort. Expanding your tolerance for distress, making yourself mentally tougher. As you learn to sit with discomfort, to breathe through it. Notice how every full and controlled breath, when you exhale all the air out of the lungs, allows the body to release a little deeper. This attention to the breath also gives us an anchor point to come back to whenever the mind begins to wander, helping us to find this deeper state of mindful awareness in this practice. Just a few moments longer here. Great job. On your next exhale, begin to untwist the upper body, leaving the legs where they're at. Let's take another inhale, straightening the spine once more. As you exhale, folding from the hips with that straight back once again. Begin to walk the hands forward, just going as far as you can without causing any pain. Or maybe if this is really intense for you today, maybe you're just going to stay sitting up, working on pressing that top knee down toward the ankle, perhaps leaning into it slightly. Now, if you feel like your body will allow for you to go even deeper, then once you are as far forward as you can go with that flat back, take another inhale, lengthen through the spine again. As you exhale, allow the rest of the upper body to melt forward, forehead reaching towards the mat, or maybe even resting onto a stack of pillows or a bolster today. Once again, checking in with yourself, seeing how this pose is going to feel for your body, and if you need to make any changes. Once you're settled in, begin breathing into those areas of tension again. And exhaling fully and slowly, implementing that ujjayi breath here that we did at the beginning of our practice. Energy flows where attention goes. So as you scan through the body, relaxing that tension you notice, imagine drawing that breath into those areas of stiffness or discomfort. As you exhale fully, see if you can surrender a little deeper, intentionally releasing that tension, giving way to gravity to take you a bit deeper into the pose. Let's take one more full inhale here. As you exhale, begin to walk the fingertips slowly to the left now. So we're taking a side reach in this fire log pose. Notice how this opens deeper through the side body and the hip, maybe even on the right side of the low back. Here we are going deep into some of the muscles that connect at our hip crest, that big bone on the side of our hips, and into our ribs. So the side body is often neglected by people when stretching, but it has a lot to do with our back pain and our posture and alignment. So this is a really great stretch to help begin to release some tension in the low back, maybe even begin relieving some low back pain over time. Once you have settled in again, come back to that ujjayi breath, inhaling into the dantian, that low belly space. And exhale from the back of the throat, sighing it away, letting all the air leave the lungs as you surrender a little deeper, melting against your mat. Stay present in the body. Witness your thoughts. Be the observer and the watcher of your mind. Let's take one more deep inhale here. As you exhale, begin to walk your hands back toward the center of the mat, and then roll the spine back up one vertebrae at a time. Go ahead and untwist the legs. And when you're ready, take it to the other side, this time aligning the left shin over the right. Just notice while we're here if this side feels any different than the first side did. Then let's inhale, lengthening through the spine once more. As you exhale, with the right hand on the left knee, begin to twist yourself, looking over that left shoulder. Breathe into the spinal cord as you invite deeper relaxation into this pose. With your exhale, see if maybe you can twist just a little bit deeper. Maintaining control over that breath, using it as a tool to help keep you present and to help take you deeper into your poses. The mindfulness aspect of this practice is not only beneficial for during this time itself, but it's what helps us to apply what we learn on the mat beyond the mat. So in learning to understand our bodies better, to be more mindful and tune in, we can be more aware of these imbalances in our bodies. Before injuries occur, we can begin to notice maybe different postures or habits, repetitions, stances we have throughout the day, etc., that affect our posture and maybe could be contributing to our pain. And so just having more mindfulness in our lives, practicing this skill, because it really is a skill, can help us to improve our quality of life by simply turning off our thinking minds and our busyness, slowing down every once in a while to just listen. Oftentimes the answers that we're looking to for our problems are right in front of us, but we're too busy to slow down and notice them. All right, let's take one more inhale here. As you exhale, gently untwist. And with the next inhale, lengthening through the spine once more. As you exhale, begin to fold from the hips, maintaining that flat back. Once again, taking any variations that you need here. So maybe staying with that flat back the whole time, resting against a bolster or pillows. Maybe you're going to stay upright, just working on pressing down that knee wherever you're at today. Find your edge and then settle in here. Breathing into the body once again. Being fully present right here and right now. Where you are is exactly where you need to be. Everything else can wait. And this stillness is where we are able to listen, to learn more about our bodies, about our minds. We have about 1 minute left here. All right, on your next exhale, begin to walk your hands over to the right this time, going deep into that left side body and hip now. Breathing in deeply into the low back, any areas of stiffness. And exhale fully, tension melting away. With this practice, we are going deep into the layers of fascia, which run around and through everything in our body, encasing it all and holding our shape. Which is why we hold our poses for a long time, in order to give that fascia the time it needs to release. Not only is this beneficial physically, but it also is emotionally and mentally as well, since 80% of our nerve pathways end in the fascia. This is where there is a strong understanding of the mind-body connection and how the physical and emotional and mental can impact one another. And so it's not uncommon for those who have emotional or mental health struggles to also have chronic pain struggles as well. So this practice is very beneficial to help begin to release that fascia, which is also releasing some of that stored emotional energy, bringing that holistic view of wellness and healing into this practice. Wonderful job. On your next exhale, gently begin walking the hands back to the center once more. And in your own time, gently roll the spine up, one vertebrae at a time. Then gently find your way onto your back for a short rebound. Just laying with the legs extended, arms at your sides, palms facing up. As we're here, feel the echo of those poses we've just done. Notice the change of sensations in the hips, maybe the back. Maybe noticing any change of mental or emotional state. When you're ready, go ahead and gently turn onto your left side and meet me in tabletop for our next pose. Making sure the hips are aligned just above the knees, shoulders above the wrists. Take an inhale. As you exhale, step your right foot forward. So we want the knee aligned above the ankle here. We're going for about a 90-degree angle in both the front and the back knee. Let's interlace our hands, palms facing down on the top of the knee. Take an inhale, lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, begin to extend the arms, rounding the upper back and tucking the chin as you tuck the hips forward here. In order to effectively target that psoas and hip flexor we're going for here, it's important to make sure that the hips are aligned properly, making sure they're square to the front of the mat. So feel free to play around with your positioning here, especially if you're not feeling any sensation through that front of the leg groin area. Maybe turning the hips side to side a little, forward or back. Rounding through that upper back more. And once you have found the variation of this pose where you feel the most sensation that serves your body today, once again settle in here. Breathing deeply, coming back to that ujjayi breath. Inhaling deep into that low belly. Exhaling fully and slowly. As you scan through the body, noticing particular areas of tension. Imagine that breath being drawn in there, expanding like a balloon, stretching that fascia, and releasing with your full and slow exhale. Let's take one more deep breath here. And exhale fully as you release the hands. Slowly roll the spine back up. Take an inhale, reaching the left arm overhead. As you exhale, begin to bend to the right now, taking a side bend in this lunge variation. Continuing to tuck those hips forward so we aren't allowing the pelvis to tip forward, curving the low back. Think about tucking those hips forward as the belly button pulls into the spine. Now, those right fingertips, if you can't reach the ground, you can rest the hand on a block or a stack of books or anything you happen to have around. Or maybe even try just resting your hand on the hip. And again, you can take some micro adjustments here, moving forward or back slightly, playing around with that hip positioning. Find your edge. Make this pose your own and settle into it. Let go of any worries, any thoughts, distractions, anything on that to-do list, any conversations to be had. They can all wait, and they'll all happen in their due time. Right now, this is the only place you need to be, so be fully here. Wonderful job. When you're ready, go ahead and gently release, coming back into tabletop. And when you're ready, we're going to go to the other side. Step forward with the left foot this time, making sure that knee is aligned above the ankle. Tuck those hips, belly button into the spine. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as you interlace the fingertips over the knee, rounding through the upper back, chin tucking. Breathing deeply here into the psoas, the hip flexor area. Exhaling fully, releasing any emotions, any thoughts, anything that isn't serving you right here, right now. Letting all of that tension and emotional energy just melt away. Give yourself permission to be here fully, okay with sitting in stillness, knowing that this isn't a waste of time, but this is greatly serving your mind and body and overall wellness. We have a little over a minute left here, so I'm going to leave you with some time to go inward once again. Great job. With your next exhale, release the hands, rolling the spine back up once more. Take an inhale, reaching the right arm overhead this time. As you exhale, begin to side bend to the left. Right arm reaching overhead, fingertips reaching toward that left side. Breathing deeply into the side body, into the right hip and low back. And again, take any of those micro adjustments, playing around with your positioning ever so slightly, just to fine-tune this pose, to notice how those small adjustments can make the stretch so much more effective. Continue to stay with that Ujjayi breath, breathing into the side body, into those areas of stiffness. Using the breath as an anchor to stay present and to go deeper. This ability to stay present, to stay mindful, and to breathe through discomfort can serve us so much in life beyond the mat, besides just in these physical activities, but in learning to not just react, to sit with discomfort, to breathe through it, and to just notice it, notice the thoughts that we're having, the ways we're wanting to react. And in that space, in that pause, is where we can encounter wisdom and clarity a lot of the times. So when we feel like we're falling behind, or we're off course, or we're a disappointment or a failure because of our comparisons to society's expectations or our fears of what others might think of us, it prevents us from truly meeting our fullest potential. Where when we're able to slow down, it helps us to have more of these realizations as we come closer to our true selves and our purpose in this life on this earth. All right, when you are ready, go ahead and gently release yourself, finding your way into a rebound once again, taking your time to move slowly as that fascia is very slow to come back, just as it is slow to release. Allow the body to lay open, shoulder blades gently tucked down and back. And feel the echo of the pose here. When you're ready, go ahead and just gently turn onto your stomach for our last pose before our Savasana. We're going to take our Sphinx pose, so beginning with the elbows aligned beneath the shoulders, palms flat on the mat. Begin to peel up the chest. Inhale as you lengthen through the neck and the spine. Exhale as you let the shoulders drop down and away from the ears. Scan through the body, relaxing anything that doesn't need to be tensed right now. Relaxing the glutes and the hips. Letting everything be heavy, giving that fascia the space to let go. Here you can keep your head tall, looking ahead, or you also have the option of allowing the head to be heavy, chin tucking toward the chest. This will take you deeper into the neck, the upper back, and shoulders. If you would still like to go a little deeper, you can also bring the feet up toward the glutes. This will also help you to have to relax the glutes a little easier, but we'll take it deeper into the low back. And to go even one step further, you can take our seal pose instead, extending through the arms. And here you can walk the hands forward or back, turning the palms in or out, adjusting the pose so that it feels best for your body today. Inhale slowly and exhale fully. We are over halfway here, so I will leave you once again to go inward and listen to the wisdom of the body. Great job. With your next exhale, very slowly begin to release yourself back onto your stomach first. And when you're ready, turn over onto your back for our final Shavasana. Gently tuck those shoulder blades down and back. Come back to the natural rhythm of the breath, just noticing each rise and each fall. Feeling any changes that have occurred in the body or the mind from the beginning of the practice till now. Continue to observe for a few moments longer, settling into an even deeper state of relaxation. I'd encourage you to stay in your Shavasana even longer today if you have time. But if you're ready to finish with me and get on with your day, then begin to invite some gentle movement into the fingers and the toes. And when you're ready, turn onto your right side this time, and then meet me seated at the center of the mat for our final closing breaths together. maybe keeping the eyelids closed for a little bit longer. As you inhale, reach the arms overhead, stretching the body tall, waking yourself back up. And exhale, hands to prayer at heart center. One more time, let's inhale, reaching overhead. And exhale, hands to prayer at heart center. As you bow down, just acknowledging yourself for showing up to the mat today to honor your mind and body in this way. Thank you so much for choosing to join me for today's practice. I hope it has been helpful and beneficial to you, and I hope it brings some peace into your day. If you enjoyed this class, would you please do me a huge favor and be sure to like this video, as well as subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribing and liking are two of the best ways to help support this channel, especially with yoga, which is a very competitive topic on YouTube. It can be difficult to get reach, and so by liking and subscribing, you're helping me to be able to expand my reach and make this a resource available to more people. I do accept class donations as well, and those links are in the description below if you feel led to support monetarily. Feel free to leave a comment below letting me know how you liked this class. I always love to hear your feedback. Also, let me know if there are any specific topics you'd like me to cover in future classes. With that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thank you again for choosing to join me for today's class. Have a great day, my friends. Namaste.